Hello everybody, this is Djuntas. So I figured I just wanted to talk a little about Diablo 4, kind of give my opinions on how this game is going so far in Season 5. So I haven't actually been playing much Diablo 4 this year, pretty much. The last time I really played Diablo 4 was in Season 2. So I'm still stuck in my Eternal Realm Sorceress with Lightning Ball. And I think that is the first topic I do want to bring up, and I'm probably also going to put that in the title. I really hate it in Diablo 3 when you return to the game, your old gear has become obsolete just because Blizzard are reworking items or whatever. And I know that they had to do something for season, was it 4? Yeah, season 4 when the big changes came. They also changed a lot in season 5. But yeah, it's cool we got like this item here that dropped for me, which is really good for ball lightning. Cool new items, I'm very happy about that. But please never do this. Never should we have to go through this ever again. They did it like 5, 6 times in Diablo 3. It was always very annoying that you had to regrind the same items that you already had very good stats on just because they changed them. Never do these changes that can be retroactively changed. So I'm just gonna show the legacy item like Godslayer Crown. That was not changed a lot except for the greater affixes. So some of the items like this one are not needed to be refound really. You're not gonna lose out on a lot except for the upgrades. Obviously you can only get them to 5/5 instead of 12 out of 12. But something like let's just take this one. These offhand set that we had in season 2, they were insane and they were very hard to get. I have a very good roll here. I'm very happy about this one, but now it's just useless. I fucking hate that. They did it so much in Diablo 3, and if I wanted to just say a quick thing here, they should never do that again. Never should they go through items like that again and just obsolete everything you have. And I know a lot of people are enjoying playing in season and they kind of don't mind that their work becomes obsolete 3 months later. I don't like to play like that. For instance, in Diablo 2, I had characters that were over 10 years old, more than that. I would hate if Diablo 2 suddenly just got updated and then all my gear was pointless. I really don't like that. But besides that, I'm very happy so far with season 5. Even though, I can also just quickly show that even though I'm in legacy gear, we can just take a quick little nightmare thing while I'm talking. Even though I'm in this legacy gear, I'm still strong enough, so I'm not complaining about like power loss or anything. I don't even have glyphs leveled or whatever, so I'm still able to do the content in legacy gear, so it's fine. But in general, season 5, season 4 really just changed the game that much to actually become something that is worthwhile playing. Like now, Diablo 4 is actually a game that you want to play. Before, it was kind of just like, I remember a clip that I kind of think back a lot, and that was Asmongold when he was talking about it was too easy to gear up in Diablo 4. So basically, he thought that it was too easy to gear up in season 2. And I must actually agree, because again, the gear that I have on this dude here is absolutely insane. I'm only missing like an item roll here on the gloves. Maybe I missed an item roll on like my ring or something, but the rest were pretty much insane. And that only took me 3-4 weeks of casual play. I didn't even get to level 100 before I had all that gear. So now the gearing is much harder. It's gonna take, I don't know, let's just say 500 hours before you could potentially get the same gear level that I have now. Like having to get greater affixes on all your items and then get them all upgraded and tempering. I don't even know how you would do that without just having to play a lot. Or let's be honest, maybe this would actually encourage people to swipe for gold, and I'm not gonna say them more than that, but you know what I mean. There are ways definitely if you want to do that. But the gearing system is way harder now, so don't even think Asmongold is gonna say that ever again about Diablo 4, because now the gearing is much harder. I would also say that the depth of the game has then grown, and as some of you people know, I don't like Path of Exile just because I find it to be a PhD game. If you don't play Path of Exile religiously every season or every at least half a year or something, you don't even understand what's gonna change or what's happened in the game. I still want Diablo 4 to be a game where you can just not play it for a year and then still be able to understand what's going on. Right now, if you haven't played since last year, as I saw, there's a lot to learn, at least initially. Yeah. There's not much else more to say than that. Some things I do want to bring up. Raxx did, as always, a really good video on his channel with the state of the game. And he mentions these things like glyphs are still too slow to level. He's so right about glyphs. They are super slow and still annoying to level up. At least just be able to level up glyphs other ways than just nightmare dungeons. Yeah, I don't understand why Blizzard doesn't. Like, Blizzard likes to make every content in Diablo 4 relevant, so you're kind of forced into doing whispers, hell tides, and all that sort of stuff. That's fine if that's their design vision of the game, that they don't want to make any content irrelevant. But goddamn, these glyphs are mandatory. They just give you so much more performance of your build, so you have to do a nightmare dungeon. You don't really have a choice. At least that's how I understood it, that the glyphs really do matter a lot. Back in Season 2, before I was even level 100, but with all the gear, I was still able to do Nightmare Dungeon at level 90 without any glyphs, so I don't know how important glyphs are back then, but maybe they are even more important now, since the content is a lot harder than it was in Season 2. What else did he also mention? He mentioned something like the few things like loot piling up, some annoying affixes like Waller and so on, and I agree on that. There are still some affixes. Like, take for instance this build here, Lightning Wall Wizard. There are like one or two affixes that completely ruin this build, so I can't even do like damage on elite packs when I face those. So they still maybe have a few things to balance. I also wanted to talk a little about loot. So right now you're able to do like 2 nightmare dungeons, maybe 3 if you don't pick much up before you have to go to town. So that's a big improvement. Like, before you can do maybe 1 nightmare dungeon and then you have to go back to town. But then another thing I kind of noticed by now, that I actually asked help about this in one of the public Discord channels. They're very good to help newbies like me that haven't played in a while. What do you do about consumables when they're piling up? And I see that now people are actually storing the consumables they have in the stash, because now we obviously have a lot of stash space, but we still have all these stupid consumables just piling up. And I think Blizzard needs to just think a little. Why don't we just get another consumable tab? Throw them into the fucking tab here and just let us not have them pick up in the consumables tab. Or at least this should be key tab. We should get another one that should be key and another one that should be summon. I think that's fair. And I know Blizzard wants to save on server storage or whatever, so they can save, I don't know, let's say $10 million the next 5 years. That's fair. Game hosting costs a lot or whatever, but it's just stupid that people are now resorting to putting consumables in the stash just because they don't have enough stash space. At least I understood that's pretty popular now, that people started doing that. Yeah. And then tempering. A lot of people hate tempering. They really don't like tempering because it breaks items. Another thing they should probably also fix is just the gold cost of tempering, like the insane gold cost. I think people are now talking about spending 100 million, 200 million on an item, where before that was like a meme that you did for enchanting. If you really wanted to be stupid, you could spend 100 million or 200 million gold to enchant an item, whereas spending that much gold now seems to be more commonplace due to tempering or whatever. I find that to be, again, swipey. And let's move on. And just coming with a quick flashbang here in the desert. It's very bright. But I forgot this point as well. The loadouts that Raxx also mentioned. I talked about this us before myself, that I really hate the Paragon tree. And honestly, I hope in the expansion of Diablo they're really just gonna nuke the Paragon tree and think of a better system. maybe even making glyphs more fun or just coming up with something. Because I respec it yesterday since I hit level 100. Leveling is much easier now, fast and so on. So even I, after a year, managed now to get to level 100. Yay, go me. Anyways, so once you're level 100, you at least just want to go a full respec. Now that cost 5 million gold or whatever to reset. 207 fucking clicks. My God, this takes half an hour. And then you're like, okay, so we start here, and then you go up there and you click the head with the screw, then the star and the heart with the star. You're just going through the symbols. You're not even like thinking about anything but a head or hands or fist. This takes way too long. I think I spent like 30 minutes clicking these 207 points, because you also spend a lot of time rotating the boards. While you're doing this, you obviously got the max roll GG guide open on your second monitor, because without a second monitor, it would take an hour. I don't know, it would take so much longer. So console players, I would like to know how you think about respeccing Paragon trees, because I already spent like half an hour clicking 207 points. At least I'm not fast at this, so it always ends up being a very slow process for me. But yeah, let's just get some loadouts, and specifically let's get loadouts that are already existing in World of Warcraft, where you can just copy talents and then within like 10 seconds you are respec it. It goes so fast in retail WoW since they changed that. And that would also, again, lead to increased traffic on Maxroll or whatever. Yeah, Maxroll should definitely support that. Icy Veins should support that. They already do for World of Warcraft. And yeah, let's get some loadouts and nuke this stupid Paragon tree so it isn't so annoying and clunky. And then the last thing, I wanted to keep this at the end. I made, so many videos about it, and I'm happy to see Raxx also mention it in his video. It's the most important part. Right now, I'm doing nightmare dungeons alone. And why am I doing a nightmare dungeon alone? Because I don't have anyone to play with, and I wouldn't even know how to find anyone to play with. Then I would have to go in like to a Discord channel or forum thread and wait like 20 minutes before somebody maybe wants to play on Eternal Realm with a not very geared sorceress that just wants to do low nightmare dungeons to level up his glyphs efficiently. But if there was a lobby system where you could, find like-minded individuals that wants to play like yourself, you wouldn't even care about it. If somebody joins your game and he's not as good as you, say if I joined your game right now, you are just gonna blast through nightmare dungeons. You wouldn't really care that much, because the next dungeon you could just leave and then you could try to find a better player, and you didn't feel like you wasted much time playing with others and so on. Like, there can be some frictions with lobby systems, obviously, but if they make it good, such as Diablo 2, my God. Why don't we do every game just needs to copy Diablo 2's lobby system. But yeah, I don't want to make the video that much longer than that. So far, very happy with the game. A little annoyed about all my gear. Like, I feel like I just... look at this amulet here. Fucking insane amulet that I had. Only the conjuration wasn't quite correct, but everything else is nearly top rolled. This amulet... Like, I'm getting horny looking at this amulet. When I got this amulet, I felt like a champion. And now I can't even use it. So yeah, again, Blizzard, never do that, because you kept doing it Diablo 3 and I hated it every time. Anyways, have a good one and see ya.